Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Tuesday, and I'm Scottie the Trainer, so that means it must be Scottie the Trainer Tuesdays. Thanks so much for joining me. No matter how you've come in contact with this video, whether it's on the YouTube channel, Facebook, Google Plus, however, thank you very much. Share it, like it, comment, enjoy it. I hope something is said that will cause you to think, be motivated, inspired, educated, and have a little bit of self-help inside of you. So I wanted to talk about today, for this Scottie the Trainer Tuesday, do things just happen? Do they just happen? So let me give you a couple of examples. So a young guy and young girl get engaged. They decide they're going to get married. They go to the priest for counseling. And the young man finds out that his fiancée has cheated on him. The priest looks at the fiancée, the young lady, and says, "Well, can you explain to us what drove you to that?" You know what she says? "It just happened. It just happened." Another thing, we look at the weather. Especially here in Ohio, the weather. It could be 55 degrees one day. We're walking around, enjoying the weather. The next day, by noon, it's snowing. You get 3 inches of snow. Somebody says to the weather person, "How does that happen? How do we go from 55 degrees to sub-zero temperatures and we're getting ice and snow? What's going on?" "Well, it just happens." There's a song that's out right now. I think the lady that sings it is BB Rexa. And the group that she features on this song is called Florida Georgia Line. Now, nothing against this song. I believe it's country in its venue. I'm not a very big country fan, but I will tell you this. It's a song that I hear a lot because my wife has it on her phone and she plays it. And it has a good sound to it. It has a good, catchy beat to it. And the song says, if it's going to be, it's going to be. If it's going to be, it's going to be. It's about a guy and a girl in a relationship, and they're taking things slow, and they determine, well, you know what? If it's going to be, then it's going to be. Here's my question. Is it? Do things just happen? Well, if it's going to be, it's going to be. Is it? Now, I might date myself a little bit, but when I was younger, there was a singer by the name of Dinah Shore, and she sang a song called Que Sera, Sera. Whatever will be, will be. Will it? Whatever will be, will be. Will it? Well, if it's gonna be, it's gonna be. Will it? Well, it just happened. Did it? I want to pose some thoughts to you today. I don't believe that all of these things that people just throw out as a blanket excuse, well, it just happened. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Right up to the fiancé, the young lady who decided to cheat on her fiancé that she was going to marry. It didn't just happen. She didn't just end up in a room with another guy and then just all of a sudden lightning struck and both of their clothes fell off and they ended up together in the bed. No, it didn't just happen. The weather change didn't just in 24 hours all of a sudden happen. Somewhere in the Gulf, moisture was being drawn up. Somewhere on the west, a certain wind was blowing, and they met up together days ago to bring us the weather that we have now. It didn't just happen. Things don't just happen. Even in the song, if it's going to be, it's going to be. It's not. I can think back to my relationship with my wife before she was my wife. I remember seeing her and looking at her and thinking about how attractive she was and how nice she was and what a kind person she was. And I remember talking to her and trying to begin to lay the groundwork to insert myself into her life and to be a part of her life and her a part of my life. We laughed about this over the weekend when I said to her, just think about if I hadn't come to you and told you how interested I was. And we laughed because she said, yeah, I never would have known that you wanted all of this. Well, absolutely I did. And I got it. But it never would have happened if I had not taken the steps to put things in motion. You know, I've always wondered when people say, well, it just happened. The guy who was diagnosed with lung cancer because he smoked cigarettes for 18, 19, 20 years. Did it just happen? No, it didn't. Something took place. Something set the stage for all of this. I think back to the story of Mary Kay Ash. Mary Kay Ash, everyone knows about Mary Kay Cosmetics. When Mary Kay Ash died, her empire was worth $1.8 billion with a B. $1.8 billion. Did it just all of a sudden happen? She went to bed one night and the next morning she got up and she was worth $1.8 billion? Ask her. Did it just happen? And she would tell you no. There was a long road that she had to go down and work that she had to do in order to have that business and for it to be successful. I wonder if we were to sit back and talk to some of the great inventors of today. If we were to talk to Mr. Henry Ford, who gave us the Model T. Mr. Ford, did it just happen? No. There was work that went into it. There was trial. There was error. There was things that he built that didn't work and things that caught on fire and explosions and all of that before he could work the bugs out to give us the Model T. It didn't just happen. Relationships don't just happen. They have to be worked on. They have to be built upon. There has to be groundwork laid in order for something to launch into the future. So no, it didn't just happen. The weather doesn't just happen. Relationships build up or fall apart. They don't just happen. And I have to take issue with Florida-Georgia line. If it's going to be, it's going to be. Not necessarily. I have seen relationships from two people that are willing to work on both sides, take what looked like a terrible relationship and build it together. But it took work. It wasn't if it's going to be, it's going to be. Somebody had to work on it. Your success, my success, whether our day is going to go well or not. It's not all entirely built upon what happens to us on the outside or the environment that we're in. It has a lot to do with what we do and the decisions that we make. If we decide we're going to have a good day no matter what, then we'll have it. Not, well, if it's going to be, it's going to be. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Not so, my friends. We have to put in the effort. We have to put in the effort. I heard a great story about a particular quarterback in the NFL. And one of his favorite wide receivers said that when he was hired in on that team, he showed up at the weight room at 6 o'clock in the morning. And when he walked in, that quarterback had been in there working out. And he said, "Good afternoon, sir." And that wide receiver said, "I'm going to get him tomorrow." So he showed up at 5:15 in the morning. And guess what? That quarterback was in there. And he said, "Good afternoon, sir." He said, "I'm going to get him tomorrow." The guy showed up at 4:45 in the morning. And guess what? The quarterback was in there working out. That quarterback is going to go down in history as one of the greatest of all time. So is his wide receiver. Why? Did it just happen? Well, if it's going to be, it's going to be. No, he has to work at it. You have to work at it. I have to work at it. What in your life is it that you want to see better? Your job, your money, your relationship with your friends, your spouse, your relationship with your family, your relationship with your children, your grandchildren, someone that you know, something that you're trying to do or accomplish, a dream or a goal, then guess what? It's not going to que sera, sera. It's not if it's going to be, it's going to be. It's not, well, just going to happen. No. You and I are going to have to work at it day in, day out, day in, day out, and be obsessed with it if we're going to see it come to pass. Because great things don't just happen. There's work that's put in. Now, when you get it, people might say, oh, it looks like you got it overnight. But what they don't know is they seen you come into your flourishing overnight, but you've been working on it for years. So get to work, you and I together, and let's see what we're going to see happen in our life. Is it going to be or is it not going to be? That, my friend, is going to be up to me. It's going to be up to you. Thanks for joining me for Scottie the Trainer Tuesday. I am Scottie the Trainer, and as always, my friends, that's how I see it.